I'm Joanna Small, the Public Information Officer for the Commerce City Police Department. It's Tuesday, September 2nd, and these are your holiday weekend high or low lights, depending on how you look at it. It's essentially our video blotter, where we give you a rundown of the most significant incidents your CCPD patrol officers responded to over the weekend. But we always like to start these off with a few fast facts. We answered 470 calls for service, and our traffic team made 91 traffic stops over the long weekend. Those numbers are a bit higher because they include Labor Day along with Saturday and Sunday. Now here are those highlights in chronological order. On Friday, officers responded to a burglary in progress in the 6300 block of Claremont Street. The reporting party showed up on scene and scared the suspect, who then ran northbound from that location. The suspect left behind a wagon filled with multiple types of wires and wire cutters. This particular business has been the victim of numerous burglaries in the last month, with extensive damage done to the building and its electrical system. Unfortunately, we have no viable suspect information at this time. Overnight Friday, officers responded to a bizarre illegal discharge call in the 6700 block of Highway 2. A bullet traveled through the roof of a home in the area and struck a person inside. Thankfully and miraculously, that victim didn't have any injuries, but he felt the impact of the bullet. It was recovered on scene and medical personnel were called to attend to the victim just as a precaution. That same shift of officers overnight Friday were sent to East 72nd Avenue and Quebec Street for what turned out to be a DUI crash. Witnesses reported the driver of the vehicle that crashed in the median was staggering in the roadway and attempting to flee the scene on foot. When officers arrived, they found the driver leaning over the hood of another car, consequently breaking the windshield wiper. He was determined to be intoxicated and taken into custody on DUI, careless driving, criminal mischief, and obstruction charges. On Saturday, officers responded to a convoluted disturbance at the flea market. A man contacted one of our officers to report a theft, but that turned out to be false, and it was actually the reporting party who was causing an issue, threatening people with a hammer. When officers went to trespass him from the property, as a result, he became uncooperative, kicking one of our officers in the chest. He was eventually taken into custody and faces obstruction, third-degree criminal trespass, resisting arrest, and assault in the third-degree charges for his actions. Overnight Saturday, officers were called to an aggravated robbery in the 7700 block of Highway 2, in which someone had stolen the victim's trailer and attempted to run him over twice in the process. The trailer had been secured to a tree, which was uprooted during the crime. The victim saw the theft happening and attempted to close the rear gate of the SUV the suspects were using to steal the trailer, but he was pushed aside and was struck by the trailer as the suspects drove away. We later located it abandoned with a flat tire and significant axle damage. Due to the victim getting video of the incident, we have a suspect vehicle and a plate number. We are still investigating this incident and attempting to contact the registered owner of the suspect vehicle to determine their involvement, if any, in this crime. Again, overnight Saturday, officers responded to a call for service at East 104th and Tower Road after witnesses reported a vehicle had driven onto the median and become high-centered. When we arrived, we found the driver was intoxicated with a blood alcohol level 2.5 times higher than the legal limit to drive, according to the results of a breath test. He was arrested for careless driving and DUI. On Sunday, officers received multiple 911 calls about another DUI driver who was driving into oncoming traffic and up onto sidewalks in the area of East 112th and Highway 2. He had crashed into a street sign and was weaving in and out of his lane on Highway 2 when we made the traffic stop, fortunately before he could hurt or worse, kill someone. We learned the driver had 3 previous DUI convictions, making this incident a felony. He's now facing reckless driving, hit and run, and DUI charges. On Monday, officers assisted the Adams County Sheriff's Office with an arrest after a suspect drove through a construction zone and got into a verbal altercation with 2 construction workers, ultimately pulling a gun and shooting one of the workers in the leg. The suspect fled the scene, but his vehicle was registered to a Commerce City address in the 5900 block of Rose Lane. We were able to arrest the suspect and turned him over to the sheriff's office for questioning. Good work, patrol. And finally, overnight Monday into Tuesday, officers responded to an attempted burglary at Smoker Friendly. When we arrived, a business employee advised the suspects had tried to break into the building and there were fresh pry marks at the top of the door. Surveillance footage showed 3 men getting out of a blue Honda sedan with no plates, and all 3 were wearing Friday the 13th masks. They were seen trying to pry open the door, but were fortunately unsuccessful. That's all for now. We'll see you next time. Have a safer week, Commerce City, and remember, if you need us, we are always just minutes away.